Zelensky says war in Ukraine will end sooner with Trump in office. Here's the relevant quote. It is certain that the war will end sooner with the policies of the team that will now lead the White House. This is their approach. Their promise to their citizens, Zelensky said in an interview with Ukrainian media outlet. Film, psychological warfare here. I honestly respect how Zelensky rolls with the fucking punches. He does what he needs to do, and says what he had to say to get what his country needs to have a chance of survival. Edit. Spelling. Zelensky is not stupid, and he's willing to kiss ass to get US support. A small price. Zelensky is putting Trump on the spot since Trump said he can end the war within days as being the president. If Trump says Ukraine has to give up land that Russia currently holds, no way Ukraine would accept those terms. Zelensky knows the only way to even have a shot is to blow smoke up Trump's ass. Trump already blamed Zelensky for starting the war before he was even in office, shamed him for not placating Russia by ceding some of Ukraine's territory, and has joked about Ukraine scamming the US out of billions of dollars. He's been preaching global isolationism. He's friends with Putin. Has been bailed out with loans by Russia as recently as 2022. And remember when he was impeached for threatening to withhold aid from Ukraine unless they fabricated dirt on Joe Biden? It's possible he does a complete 180 on the whole situation and gives Ukraine all the money and weapons they need to defeat Russia. But he has said he has solutions for issues in the past, and we either have yet to see them. His 2016 healthcare plan, or they blew up in our faces. His rushed Afghanistan withdrawal plan that his military advisors warned him about and he ignored. I'll believe it when I see it. Russia wants Kursk back before negotiations. Ukraine isn't budging. And Ukraine wants its territories back before negotiations. Suck a fat dick. Wait, what? Russia want territory back but want to keep Ukraine lands? Get out of here with this nonsense. The Krybally playbook. Kremlin makes outrageous lies and demands the West. Let's meet them in the middle. Kremlin. Insanity just got us free shit. This needs to end. It's like demanding dessert before you've even sat down for dinner. Russia should learn to accept new territorial realities. Pakistani religious body declares using VPN is against Islamic law. VPNs are bad, Muhammad. I've heard VPNs are really popular in Utah, for some reason. It's almost like religion is just a convenient tool for control. Encryption is bad in general according to Islamic scholars. This is why 1400 corrected. Years after publishing the Quran, you still need Islamic scholars for its interpretation. They should also declare using the internet is against Islamic law so we can have a break from their propaganda on YouTube, etc. The only reason they are declaring VPNs as against Islamic law is to prevent people bypassing internet controls and viewing material considered un-Islamic. They could easily just say that. Instead of this bullshit, Kremlin-occupied Ukraine is now a totalitarian hell. Crimean Russians can tell much about how good it is for them. Twice traitors, they were called on Russian national TV. Snippets from the article. Donald Trump's incoming administration may push for an armistice or peace deal between Russia and Ukraine that might leave a fifth of Ukraine under Russian occupation. And the size of this area could easily expand in the coming months if the Kremlin intensifies its offensive, which has been gaining ground. To get a sense of Vladimir Putin's dark vision for any territory he permanently gains, it is worth looking at conditions in occupied Ukraine now. Kirill, a Ukrainian agent in occupied territory reached by phone, says that this is a prison society because the fear of being denounced forces everyone to keep their views to themselves. To be without a Russian passport these days is like being a refugee in your own land. Important jobs are almost all held by Russians. Anyone with pro-Ukrainian views fears being sent to the basement. An expression for Russia's network of detention and filtration camps. All traces of Ukraine are being expunged. Schools have switched to the Russian curriculum, and Russian youth and paramilitary organizations work in the territories. Repression combined with Russification aims to transform the social and political fabric of the territories, says Nikolai Petrov, the author of a new report for the German Institute for International and Security Affairs. The identity of the occupied territories is changing. Fast, some residents have always been pro-Russian. Now oppression, brainwashing and an exodus means that the balance has shifted further. Some 5 to 30% of residents in the occupied Zaporizhia and Kherson regions are pro-Russian. 20 to 35% are pro-Ukrainian, while the rest, possibly more than half, have a wait-and-see attitude. According to the NRC, that is why, says Mr. Petrov, we should not believe in the idea that they are all waiting for liberators to come and free them. And nobody seems to speak up about the Tatars. I saw a certain super popular Twitch streamer bring them being displaced up and casually move on. Crimea is impossible to unfuck by now. 1 million Russians just moved in at once and went right into people's homes and established businesses and literally said, "This is mine now." Who wouldn't want to live in a country where life expectancy for men is in the 50s? Like one needed to use imagination to see this coming. Look at what the Soviets did in Kaliningrad after 1945. What Russia is doing in Ukraine is proper colonialism in the 21st century. And by how international relations work in the post-WW2 landscape, things are bound to stay how they are and those lands lost to that black hole that is Russia. Russian world, alternative to EU everyone should aspire towards, according to Putin.